west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west till the death till they bury me.
Myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren.
For who?
For my brethren. My kinsmen.
My who?
My kinsmen according to the flesh.
According to the spirit.
According to the flesh.
According to the adoption.
According to the flesh. Who are Israelites?
Who are what?
Who are Israelites?
So everything that's about to be named is pertaining to who?
To whom pertaineth the adoption?
The adoption is pertaining to the Israelites.
And the glory.
The glory of the kingdom is going to the Israelites.
And the covenant.
Both covenants are for the Israelites.
And the giving of the law.
The giving of the law is for the Israelites.
And the service of God.
The priesthood, the service of God is for the Israelites.
And the promises.
And all the promises in the Bible is for the Israelites.
Whose are the fathers?
Whose are the fathers? We are the fathers.
And of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came.
And the concerning of the flesh, that's who Christ came and died for. Christ didn't come for everybody. Jesus was never supposed to come to die for white people. Because white people could never sin against the Most High. Because they were never given the law to keep. So the new covenant is not for everybody. The new covenant is for the same people that broke the old covenant. Because according to the old covenant, according to the covenant that the Lord gave Abraham, his son will rule the earth and all nations will be under him. Correct? When has that happened? Never. So, since they broke the old covenant, you know what had to happen? He had to make a new agreement with them. Say you walk into a car dealership, right? You get an application. You mess up on the application. What are you going to ask for? A what? A new application. Now, if this is my first time walking in the car dealership, what am I going to ask for? If I want to fill out an application for a car, what am I going to ask for? For a what? For a application. That's it. So right, can I get a application? Exactly. So if it was for the other nations, you know what they be getting? A covenant. The new covenant is for the people that messed up the old covenant. That's what it's for. The people that broke the old one, that's who the covenant is for. Now, the people, if you want to get an application, you got to make another agreement with the Lord. Something separate than what he made with us. The new covenant is the same as the old covenant. Give me Jeremiah 31 and 31. Give me Hebrews 8 and 8. Excuse me, ma'am. What's your nationality?
Indian.
Indian. Do you know that Indians have to pay for the crimes of their forefathers? You got to pay for what your ancestors did. Every nation had a part in destroying the Lord's chosen people. And your people played a part in that as well. And you have to pay for what they did. Are you willing to say you're sorry according to what the Bible says? Because all nations are going into slavery under the children of the Most High. You know that? Do you know about that? That's all right. Don't worry about it. Read what you got. Jeremiah 31 and 31.
This is Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
You hear that? He gonna make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Who else he gonna make a new covenant with?
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
So what did he say? Edom gonna get a covenant? Did he say Elam is gonna get a covenant? Did he say Ishmael was gonna get a covenant? He said with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Right. Keep reading.
That I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord.
Now watch this. We just read the Old Testament. This is in Jeremiah, right? Now we finna read Hebrews 8 and 8. Read.
Okay. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verse 8. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt. Because they have continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days.
Do you hear that? Who is the new covenant for? The house of Israel. Give that brother a hand, man. Christianity just got his ass beat. You understand? Because the white man has been polluting our brothers and sisters' mind with Christianity, with that Gentile nonsense, and the answers are right here in the Bible. Right. When you listen to your brothers, when you listen to your brother man and not the other man, then it all start making sense, man. You understand? Stop listening to these white people teaching the Bible, man. This is not their book. You understand, man? Listen to your brother and your kinsmen according to the flesh, man. You understand? And we've been telling you for years, man. In 2 years, man. But that's all right. You came out here today. Today is the day the Lord wanted you to hear the truth. You understand? And that's what you're doing. You're listening to the truth. Give me Deuteronomy 4 and 6. All nations are going to come and learn from us. Go ahead.
How do you explain Galatians 3:28?
We just explained Galatians 3 and 28. But we'll explain it for you again. Let me explain it. Let me just make it short and sweet for you. The Gentiles that the Bible is talking about in the New Testament were also called Greeks. And do you know why they were called Greeks? Because they were Jews who made Greek their tongue. So I'm a Jew. And if at that time I started following the ways of the Americans, if the Americans were around, then they would call me an American. And they would no longer call me a Jew, because I would celebrate Christmas, I would celebrate Thanksgiving. So they would be like, man, you an American. You're not a Jew, you an American. So you understand? So if I were to do that, then I would no longer be a part of the Commonwealth of Israel. So now that I come back into my brothers and Christ died for me, now they're teaching me that I'm no longer a Greek. I'm no longer an American.
How did Ruth become an Israelite and part of the lineage of David?
How did Ruth become an Israelite? Ruth was an Israelite from the beginning. Give me Deuteronomy 29 and 1. I'm finna show you something. You out here dealing. No, you got Deuteronomy. Give me Deuteronomy 29 and 1. I'm finna show you something. I'm finna give it to you. Cause you know what? Our people, you know what? When we left out of Egypt, we passed through all the lands. We also passed through the land of Moab. And some of our people wanted to stay. They didn't want to leave because the voyage was too far. So they were just like, we're going to stay here. Read.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make the children of Israel in the land of Moab.
In the land of who?
In the land of Moab.
You know what that was? We were in the land of Moab, and the Lord made a covenant with us, and Ruth didn't leave.
Right.
So now, she's a Moabitess. She's in the land growing up as a Moabite, but she's not a Moabite. She's a Moabitess, like I'm an American.
Right.
You understand? And you know why you out here? Read Deuteronomy 4 and 6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nation.
Because you are learning from the true priests and prophets of the Lord. This is our wisdom and understanding in the sight of all the nations. You're going to look at us and say, read.
Which shall hear these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Looking at us like, man, these are some very intelligent niggas.
Right.
They have some understanding.
Right.
I can't even knock them. Because we are the real priests and prophets of the Lord.
Right.
We are the ones that's supposed to be in rulership of this earth to keep the earth in order. If we were in rulership right now, the earth would be a totally better place.
Right.
It'll be better. First of all, the streets will be paved in gold. We're gonna get rid of this cement mess. You know what I mean? The streets gonna be gold. You know what I'm saying? The building's gonna be diamond and burl. And you're gonna be able to walk in streets or go and see the streets and be like, you may not be able to live here,
Right.
but you'll at least be able to see it.
Right.
Just like you know how we drive through River Oaks?
Right.
We look at those houses like, look at that 30-bedroom house. Oh yeah, but you're gonna be able to clean the mess out the streets. You know what? You're gonna give the streets that gloss it needs. That gold gloss that it really needs. Give me Isaiah 14:1. Let me tell you, and you should just be happy. You're gonna be happy to be around niggas. Like as of right now, you see black people and you be like, I can't stand them loud Negroes. Well, guess what? You're gonna be happy to be in the midst of us. Because one thing you ain't gonna have to worry about is us raping you.
Right.
You ain't gonna have to worry about us molesting your children or kidnapping you, because we are going to be just leaders.
Right.
Read what you got.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land.
We are going to the kingdom of heaven. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're going to be set in our own land. Read.
And the stranger,
And who?
and the strangers
You are going to be able to be there too. The strangers. Read.
shall be joined with them.
And you're going to be joined with us in our land. That sounds good, doesn't it? Read.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them.
You're going to cleave onto us. You're going to be like, oh, I love these niggers. Can I get some water? Can I get a shirt? Can I get some pants? The same way we do to these other nations right now. Read.
And bring them to their place.
And we're going to get you and gather you up and bring you to our place. You know what? Like the Persians, your people. You know, Artaxerxes was one of your ancestors, right? Have you ever seen the movie 300? You ever seen 300? Well, let me tell you about Artaxerxes, right? The Persians had a great dynasty, right? And Xerxes had us carrying he had us carrying him through the desert. And when he wanted to get down off his platform, we were his steps to walk down our backs. You're going into slavery.
Right.
Because of Artaxerxes.
Right.
Read.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord.
You ain't gotta run because we're still going to possess you in the land of the Lord.
Right.
For what?
For servants.
For what?
For servants.
I'm gonna have a nice little East Indian servant.
Right.
Because the Bible said I'm gonna have what?
For it shall possess them for servants and handmaids.
And handmaids.
Praises to the Most High. I ain't like most guys. Eyes on the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe of Benjamin, inherited on both sides. Background Jamaican, mistreated, and I know why. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yasha Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Wanna be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim, homicide ain't the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms, never getting treatment. Something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long, and it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them.